on because we are about to go on a ride for small businesses and entrepreneurship out of the Houston chapter. We have Dr. Doug Franklin and his illustrious, I'm going to keep using that word because I just feel like every time you're like around alumni, you're supposed to say illustrious. So
Don't do that,
his
Zaza.
illustrious
It's not that
business
serious. It's not that. This
deck
is
launch. And he will be taking us doing a pitch competition and also a quick discussion about tips and tricks on how you can prepare your deck for VC funding and all that good stuff. So, Dr. Doug, you have from 2:30 to 4:30. So, have at it, and I'll be here if you need me. You're on mute. You're muted. Is that PV behind you?
I 100% apologize for being on mute. We were trying to figure out our sound, and that's why I was on mute for a little bit.
It went back. It went back on mute.
So, so we are happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us. And so what we're doing here is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to share with everybody one of the programs that we do here in Houston. So we are affiliated with a couple of programs here, the Ion and a couple of other things. We'll tell you about that. And what we want you to do is perfect your pitch, because this is the time for you to really be up with your small business. And as you see this Prairie View dude who just rolled up on me, and there's a couple other Prairie View alum that are going to be around with us. We just really want to make sure that people understand what's going on. So I'm gonna give the floor to a Prairie View guy for just a quick second to talk about Fresh Tech Solutions.
Hey, you guys, how y'all doing? My name is Darrell Norris. I am a PVAMU computer engineering alum. We started Fresh Tech Solutions to help develop mobile apps for small businesses who look like me and can't afford the typical $150,000 app. So we started Fresh Tech to get these businesses the opportunity to have a mobile app developed, under $10,000 compared to the typical 150,000. But what would happen was, once we started doing this, we started getting a lot of great ideas. We started getting people who want to make the next Uber or the next social media app. And those apps can't be done for $10,000. So we created a company called Deck Launch, and Dr. Doug is the founder and CEO of Deck Launch. And what Deck Launch does is we do idea validation for companies.
Yep, that's exactly what we do. We really try to make sure that you guys get everything that you need, because basically the license to operate when it comes to you doing pitch competitions and all that other stuff is a pitch deck. And so hopefully what we're going to do when we get out of here, somebody's going to have a pitch deck. And so we really are we really try to be in touch with our community, and that's what it is. Like when he says that he was looking out, I came to Darrell's business with an idea that I worked on with other FAMUans, and he's like, it's perfect, but we have to figure out the system. And so that's where this business came up from. And so this is what we are doing. So if you need anything that comes down to, if it comes down to getting screenshots of what you think your app's going to look like, what your pitch decks could be, we could do that. We're happy to do it. So this is the squad, though. This is
the squad.
75% HBCU love.
And 1 U of H.
Sydney just couldn't get it right. So I'm a very proud FAMUan. and between Darrell and Nicholas, they are very proud Prairie View alum, and we are here for the squad, and we want to be here for y'all. So let's talk about what we're going to do before we get into the pitch competition. So there's 4 things that you always need to know when you're talking about your business. And if you have questions, please let us know, because we will put it, we're looking in the chat the whole time. We're looking for information. I see actually one of the guys who's going to be posting or who's going to be pitching today is already there. Hey, what's up, Antoine? So like, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask, because that's what we're doing here. Before we get to the pitch competition, we will give you answers. So these are the 4 things we always talk about when we do things for the Ion. Why should I pitch? We'll give you the essentials of pitching, and then why pitch deck? And then we'll give you some of those essentials as well. So here are some of our sponsors, and this is one of the things I really want you to appreciate is like, we out here, black people out here doing great things. The Greater Black Houston Chamber of Commerce and the Ion have been sponsoring us every first Tuesday. But the crazy thing is, like, if you look at Urban Capital, that's a Morehouse. There's a Morehouse grad that's involved. He's doing stuff with Ion, and we're here. But on top of that, you have Equiliberty, which is an up and coming business that is amazing. Houston Area Urban League has a small business university that is working with FAMUans, and there's a bunch of us that have graduated from there. And then on top of that, the Diversity Fund Houston, if you have a dope business idea, just come on. We're looking for you. They are too. So why should my pitch be perfect? Tell them why it's perfect, man.
It's perfect because you'll never know when you'll meet an investor. So I'll give you a little side story to you guys about why I believe so much in the pitch deck. I got my pitch deck created probably about 3 years ago when we first kind of started this thing. And about 2 weeks after, I was sitting at a bar, and I normally don't say that. I usually say restaurant. I was sitting at I'm with FAMU. I'm real with y'all.
Oh, you snitch on yourself.
I was sitting at a bar, and there was this guy who I was sitting next to, older gentleman, and he just pretty much asked what I did for a living, and I pulled out my pitch deck, showed him all the slides. It had all of the competition analysis, the financial projections, pretty much everything that an investor needs to see. And I didn't even know I was speaking with an investor. Long story short, 2 weeks later, I had $30,000 in my account from my pitch deck.
Giving all the business.
Giving all the business.
All the business.
So yes, I really believe in pitch decks because I'm a prime example of somebody who got funded because of one directly sitting at a bar.
But that's the nature of the beast. The reason why you want to have a pitch deck is because someone is going to run up on you. That's the nature of an elevator pitch. The reason why you could do something, and you see this on the purpose, and forgive us if we're running really quickly because this is what we do every Tuesday for ION, but we're trying to hustle out here because we want to make sure that we can get y'all to some of the people who are pitching. That's the purpose. You're over here trying to make bread, and when you're on your purpose, you're doing your elevator pitch. It is this between 1 to 2 minute thing that you're telling people that is so concise that even the 6th grader could get it. If you're smarter than the 6th grader, you're doing it too much. You need to be dumber than the 6th grader because your elevator pitch needs to be understood by the whole world, and that's how you make your money, right? That's what we say. You see us laughing over here because we're like not. This is where people win and lose. One of the cool things we do with our business is we don't take every business. Yeah. If you cannot elevator pitch your business, it's not a business. Nick, want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, the reason why an elevator pitch is important, besides just you given having a short time to pitch to somebody is it shows that you understand your business. So if you can successfully deliver an elevator pitch, whoever you're talking to, if they connect to it, they understand, okay, this is someone who knows their business well enough to put it in such a way that I can connect to them in a short period of time. That then leads to the next step of giving more information.
Absolutely. And that's really what you want to do. All you guys have, there's some dope business ideas that are sitting there. There's a lot of people who have ideas that are sitting on it, but you need to make sure that it makes sense. And then you should be able to tell people what it actually means very quickly. And that's what you're going to see a little later. So preparation, that's our next P. Who is in your audience? And so we're an easy audience. I can't lie. Like you're
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't lie.
I mean, we're not evil. I mean, this is. I don't think this is Shark Tank where you're gonna die. But I mean, basically, you have to figure out what your audience looks like. You have to be able to tell. So if you're gonna send something off to one person, you have to do your research. You got to do your homework. A lot of these investors that you think have a whole bunch of bread is pretty easy to find what they do on the internet at the very lowest common denominator. There's probably some other things you can probably figure out with your, within your social circles, but you need to do as much research as you can on the internet. Guys, do you have anything else on that?
Just for if you're getting a deck for the purpose of a pitch competition, know the rules. Because there's a lot of different rules for different pitch competitions. So if you have 5 minutes in one competition, you have 10 minutes from another competition, there needs to be some kind of preparation for that.
Yeah.
Some kind of adjustment.
Absolutely.
And that leads perfectly into practicing. So once you prepare your deck and your information, then now you just have to practice it. Trying to get to the point where it's natural. You're not even looking at the slide that much. And that's going to allow your personality to come out. It's going to allow your passion to come out if you're not thinking about it. If you're in front of an investor or whoever you're pitching to and you're thinking about it, most likely you're only going to be showing like 25 to 50% of yourself, and that's not going to get it done.
And that's a word right there. That's really what it is.
And I'll come back to this later, but practice is key.
It makes it perfect. So performance. So now you're there. So now if you already have been put in a position to figure out what everything's going on, you're talking to somebody who has money. What are you supposed to do? You got to perform, but you cannot be fake. This is one of the most important things you can do. After your story, this is the second most important thing you could do. So if you're a chef, why would you dress up in a suit? It doesn't make any sense if you're in a tux and you're a chef.
Yeah, so it depends on where you're going. Obviously, a chef might not wear his chef outfit to the bank. So if he's pitching to the bank, he might dress up in a suit. But if you're coming into a competition, whenever you want to brand yourself, you want everybody to connect with you, know exactly who you are, reduce the amount of time that you have to explain yourself to people. So they're already kind of anticipating, preparing their mind. Okay, I'm talking to a chef.
I need the chef hat.
This and this. He might not know exactly. He might not know.
You would want the chef hat.
I want to listen to him talk about food and stuff like that. So you want to dress the part, fit with the brand.
Yeah, Rel wants a chef hat. We don't.
I'm not a chef. So.
If I can be a chef.
Rel probably cannot cook well. I don't know. We're going. Please. Nick said the right thing. Okay, so now we're outside of the pitch. Now we're talking about the deck. So this is what you have. This is your license to operate. There's so many things that are really cool that come from a deck. And we're going to talk about that as we run. Here's a couple bullets, and we'll make sure that you guys can get this. But let's talk about why a pitch deck. And why would you get a pitch deck? Nick,
you can already see some of the must-haves that we have on the pitch deck. These are the key parts of your business. So the pitch deck, what it does that I love the most, one of the things that we love the most is that it allows you to put all your thoughts together in a concise way that connects so that people can connect with it. The pitch deck is designed to connect with an audience. So if you get your information down to where you can connect with the audience, it helps you and them, move forward towards you getting that money.
But how do we get here? What is so important about the pitch deck? Why do you need pitch deck, Rel?
You need a pitch deck, like simple. You might be somewhere out like I was, and you might meet somebody who you don't think is an investor, who might be an investor,
Be
and
ready.
you have to be ready. You have to be ready.
And that's the thing, is that people are always looking for you and your business. I hate to say the cliche, but stay woke is always very much about staying woke. Your wokeness. Is that a word?
Yes.
Like
Wokenness.
wokeness. But
Stay
that's where
woke.
we want you to be. Be up. So let's talk about some of the things, and all of these slides come from our clients, and we want you to be able to see things that matter. If you guys have questions, because we're starting to see,
Someone said stay woke.
we're starting to see the chat. The
Stay
chat.
woke.
Yeah, we woke over here. If you guys have cool questions, please let us know. We will answer any questions on the fly. This is not a lecture. We want to have fun. Let's have fun.
Before you move off the slide real quick, so you can see the must-haves. It's not always this. So every business might be different. You might need, you might need I think this roadmap on here. You might need a roadmap.
Traction.
You might need traction.
Yep.
You might need 3 or 4
Yep.
validation slides.
Yep.
Maybe your story is all you have. And so you need to tailor your pitch deck towards what is your strongest suit. You want to look the best possible. So this is where you should. This is a solid building platform.
Yep.
But you don't feel free to adjust as needed.
Yeah, honestly, you guys have great ideas. Don't limit yourself, but also, basically make sure you limit you. It is the greatest paradox. You have to limit yourself, but not necessarily,
Yeah.
because people ain't gonna read nothing past like 15 slides. That's too much. The rich people want about 10, 15.
And I love that you said that, Doc, because I know how important business plans are.
Yep.
And I get it, but there's not going to be an investor that's going to read your business plan when you first meet you.
Exactly.
So
you have to make me want to read your business
yes,
plan.
exactly. So this pitch deck is that front door. So
Yep.
like when I got my investment, it wasn't just from the pitch deck. He texted me the next day and said, "Hey, can you send me some more information?"
Right.
So sending the business plan, sending the financial projections in detail, and that's how it happens. So this pitch deck is to get you in the door to the Monty,
The Monty,
where the money resides.
where the money resides.
Y'all foolish. Move on.
Absolutely. Let's see if we have a question. Looks
No,
like we
that's
may
the
have.
dollar signs.
Oh, where the money resides?
Money
Absolutely.
resides.
Someone's listening.
So this is what your problem slide should look like. Your problem slide should have really big numbers in a very provocative place where it just makes sense. Where
Numbers are a great way to do it, but you need to attract attention. Hey, this is what you're building around. This is probably what motivated you to start the business in the first place. So you need somebody else to see the same urgency that you had that drove you to do what you're doing. There might be some other ways to do it as well, but numbers are, facts. You can't get around them.
Absolutely. How did you get here?
Big facts.
How did you get to this idea that you need to make this business? Even if you had a good idea, even if it's one of those things where people have told you, oh, this is the next wave, you need to tell people where the problem is. It does not matter if you know there's value if you don't know where the problem is, which brings us to what we do with the next slide, which is always the solution. So, Real, talk about the solution slide.
Yeah. So after we present the problem, we definitely want to present a solution. So this is a company that's very successful, who has won countless pitch decks from pitch competitions from our pitch decks.
Yep, Essence Fest. Yep.
But yes, the solution slide is basically telling you how you're going to fix that problem. So this is a slide that we really need to have investors understand what we're fixing, what we're doing. So this is a very important slide because it pretty much takes care of the problem.
Right.
And it's supposed to be simple enough where, like you said, the sixth grader can understand.
Yep. Why we're doing what we do, how we're solving that problem, because that's going to lead into how the money is. If you don't have a solution, you can't make money. So the problem is just out there by itself, and that's not what we're doing here. Trying to show them that, hey, this is a problem we identified. This is what we've created to solve it, and then we can build on that to get towards the money.
Yep. So let's talk about market validation. So now this is where you put the target on the money.
And this is actually this is actually the slide from the Fresh Tech Solutions deck that got me my funding. And one thing I want you guys to realize is that pitch decks are an ongoing process. There's always more you can add. So when I created this originally, this was I think 3 years ago.
Yep.
And so we have the market validation showing, we have 100,000 businesses in Houston, 2 million in Texas, 30.2 million in the United States. Now our vision, we need to have another circle around all of this because now we're thinking worldwide because we have a couple of clients in
other parts of the world,
Ecuador, but yeah. So our vision was we wasn't thinking big enough, and that's something that I really, really encourage everybody to do. You have to think big because big can come really quick.
Yep, and you don't know what's going to happen. It's very much one of those Mike Tyson things. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth, and it happens every single time when we see our clients go, "Oh, wait, I wasn't ready," and you're never ready. You're never ready for expansion. I mean, even if you have a good plan, you cannot plan how great expansion could be for you.
Yeah.
Features. We love, these are our favorite projects. So we love doing these screenshots of what an app could look like. You should always do this. You should always show people what it looks like because people are visual. If you're looking for an investor, you should always have something that is super visual. And here's the punchline. Everybody in here is you guys are looking like, oh man, they did it on Photoshop. You want to know where these pictures came from? PowerPoint. I do all of our screenshots on PowerPoint, which means it does not take you to do something magical. You don't need to know Photoshop. You don't have to be a god of cutting and pasting. It just requires you to understand what your software can do.
Right? Agreed, Doc, but we do have the best graphic designer in the world. And that helps a lot.
Yeah, I definitely don't do branding. But but if there's a project with no branding, I do screenshots and it's easy peasy.
Yeah, and this has features where so for us we do a lot of tech-based work, but for some people it might not be features. Features might not be what you go with. You might go with services or functions or something like that. So, but this is generally the place where you try to communicate. This is what we do. And like Doug said, visually is probably the best way to do that. So if you have pictures of you serving a client or success stories, this is kind of where you would communicate that. Now, having said that, every business does have a tech component to it. So you'd be expected to add that in later. If you have a business and you don't have a tech component in 2021, I don't know.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
So to that point, this is what we do with a lot of our apps. We always show people how it works. It has to be like this is always lockstep. We always show people, a couple of steps of how you're supposed to do things, right? So you got to go, you pick up an app. What does that mean? This is one of our favorite slides, and it actually happens to be one of the first slides we ever did, and it never changes.
Yeah, and Dr. Doug, I really love this slide because when you're pitching to an investor and they're trying to figure out if they want to invest in your company, they want to know how the thing works.
Exactly.
So this is a very, very simple, easy to understand slide.
Perfect.
You find, you scan, you write, and you release.
Exactly.
It's to the point, straight up. Everybody knows what's going on.
Yep, and the girl took the words right out of my mouth. So you can tell the pitch deck starting to take a turn from, okay, this is what we're doing and whatnot, starting to get more into convincing the investor, try to get them on that hook as you know, because now you're trying to explain to them, okay, now you love what we said, the solution that we told you that we're going to do. You love the big market that we showed you that is out there for us to get. Now this is how it works.
Absolutely. And so now you got to figure out the competition at some point. I mean, like we talked about these great ideas, we got to figure out who's bouncing off of where. So just for what it's worth, this is an old competition slide for us at Deck Launch.
I still like it, Doc.
It's cute. It's cute. It's wrong. But I mean, this is where we positioned ourselves when we started the business. This is absolutely not where we're at now. The world has changed, and these guys aren't even necessarily our competitors because we're doing a lot of things more in the service side than we are just doing pitch decks. We're more than pitch decks, so we can't even be around Fiverr, Founder Hub, and Upwork because we're doing a lot more.
But to your point, Doug, just because we don't think we have any competitors and we're killing the game, you always have competitors.
Yep.
So never think you don't have competitors, because I guarantee we can find some. There's a lot of companies out here who come with us and say, hey, we have this great idea. There's nothing in the market. There's no competitors. The last person came to us, we found 7 competitors in the Houston area. Right. So yes, you always have competitors. We just need to figure out who they are and how you beat them.
Yeah, I guess we need like 2 FAMU weekends so we can talk about the I mean, honestly, we talk about strategy. It's a whole there's a whole other rabbit hole. Tuesday. Let's not do that. Yeah, every other Tuesday, every 2 weeks. So revenue model, make it easy. Do the math. It's just all you need to do on your revenue model page is just have something where you could just do the math. It's A plus B equals C. You don't have to tell people anything beyond that. When people are interested, that's what you get the chance to do. Your pitch deck is here for you to talk a little bit of stuff and then tell people exactly where you make your money. And then after that, you just walk away. Like you should not have to explain your revenue model unless someone's really interested in the bread, because there's a lot of other things you're going to ask about, right?
Yeah, and obviously, everything that you've been doing has built up to this so that your solution has broken up, so it should tie in to your revenue model. So we shouldn't get to revenue model and see something that you never mentioned before you got to this point. That's going to lead to confusion, and then you're going to lose trust from your audience.
Yeah. So you know what the money looks like, right? So what do? You have a go-to-market strategy for exactly what you want to do. So you know exactly what. So when you do those things, what we do in our pitch, in our pitch decks is we put alliteration to it just to be able to connect with investors. But you know more than that, and you can always share more than that, because sometimes people want to know more than the cliche. But in the early stage, a lot of investors really just like something that's really easy. It says, this is what you're doing with this app or with this concept. Give me 3 steps. We give them 4 in this slide, but like that's really what we try to do. We try to make it really easy.
Yeah, and we love alliteration. So pilot, promote, present, and push. This go-to-market strategy basically tells you how you're going to get that money that we just talked about. So, we're utilizing social media, we're doing virtual conferences, in-person conferences, tutoring organizations. So these are the steps that can get that money from the previous slide.
Yeah, so you got to figure this out for yourself based on your business. How do we take this to market?
And then, of course, there's where the money, because where the money resides.
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 Okay.
Oh no, we can't do it anymore, Nick.
No more. Please.
So Nick and the rest of the team will not let me and Rel go back and forth.
5 was good.
No, it is 5. 5 is a good number. So we were talking about where the money resides. This is where you do it on this slide. You have to tell people what's going on. But one of the things that you have to understand, so this specific slide that you're seeing, yeah, they made money between 1 and 3. the reality is a lot of your startup ideas are not going to make bread in the first year, and it's okay.
And can I just be honest?
Go ahead with it, Nick.
This slide, and probably the last one, actually the whole thing, but this one in particular, this is where you need to consult with somebody who's a specialist here.
Yep.
Because when you put numbers on here, if you get a bite and they're going to want to see more of those numbers, and if you don't have them or it's wrong, it's done.
Or it doesn't make sense.
So you definitely need to consult with somebody. And that's why we like to do for key areas like this. So we do for market strategy, for user story, and especially for financials, we have separate documents that we can provide for you to go in depth. So if you're able to do the rest of the deck yourself, but you definitely need help on the financial side. So I'd advise that for sure.
Yeah, and we apologize for our numbers being X's because we signed a lot of NDAs.
Yeah, it would have been nice to just drop some of the things in there so y'all could really see what it looks like. But this one
Imagine
wouldn't.
your own numbers. That's probably better.
This wouldn't.
I'm putting my own numbers.
For what it's worth, this wouldn't have been fair at all. Mostly because they had a validation slide where they're down with Microsoft. When if your business is not making money as in profitability, but the revenue is high, there's certain things that you have to figure out. That's okay, and that's why we have so many partners that we mess with. When we're talking about the urban leagues and things that are nature, the ions of that nature, you have an opportunity to talk to them, or you can talk to us. But like, that's the thing. In year one, if you're making revenue, but you're not profitable, that does not mean that you're not a good business.
Trust me. There are companies on the stock exchange right now that have been profitable for years. So that's not the end all. That's why it's good to consult with somebody, especially so that you can present yourself well.
Yes, and to Nick's point, just one more reiteration of this. You cannot make these numbers up. Do not pull these numbers out of the sky, because if somebody's interested in your deck, they're going to want to see where these numbers came from.
And they will ask you a question you cannot answer. If you should know your numbers. No, we're not saying that you need to be very.
You have to be the expert. You just have to know.
Yeah.
I think that's another rabbit hole that we really can't touch right now.
Yeah, move on.
So the team slide is one of our favorite slides. You should always have something that shows who the subject matter experts are on the squad. This specific team slide is one of the best team slides we've ever done. Not because Darrell's ugly behind is on it, but because
such a hater.
Well, I mean,
misses one.
I mean, he is a peanut head. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do with this peanut head?
Not talk about it.
It's a terrible decision. Exactly. So I shouldn't talk about him at all. Thank you, Nick. But basically, when you're talking about the knowledge, skills, and abilities that people have, you need to have it on that team slide. If you can tell people that there's more to that team than you thought it was, or they think there was, it's great, because this is where investors are looking. Your idea is cool, but if your team sucks,
no team,
not at all, not a team at all, it don't work. It does not pan out in your best interest.
And I'll just speak on that from a personal aspect. When I started Fresh Tech Solutions, it was just me, and business was, it was good, but business didn't take off until I got my team. And if I would have realized that earlier, then I would have had my team way sooner than I did. But now my team is solid and we are investable because of the team. So investors really want to see that you have people behind you and you're not just doing this solo, because it's really hard to throw millions of dollars at one person and that's all they're doing. So
enough said, that's perfect.
And what Rel said, I really want you guys to hear is like when you hear the term millions of dollars being thrown at your name of a business that you're working on, it doesn't make any sense in the beginning. But like if you have a really good team and you're doing things and you're generating revenue, it's real. Like this is very real. Like I'm so grateful that the Austin chapter of Florida A&M's alumni chapter gave us some time to talk. are a little bit of shiggity, but like we, as much as we're giving y'all knowledge, we are a young business. The deck launch is only 3 years old. We have not tried to save the world. We've just happened to be put in positions where people are working with us at the multi-million-dollar level, and it doesn't make no sense. I like every day I talk to the guys and gals about like, is this real? Like, what are we doing? And like, and that's and it's
And
real.
the only reason that happened is because of the team.
It's
So,
all team based. It's not about the business idea. People could have done this business idea. It's been the squad. We've had a great time with the squad. So this is what you got to do when you got a pitch deck. You got to have to ask. You got to tell people what you need.
okay, so before we even jump into this slide,
Oh shit!
this slide is very, very important because I've seen lots of pitch decks with no ask. You cannot present a whole presentation and not ask for anything.
Where's the money?
You're not going to get anything from it. Nobody's going to reach out to you because they don't know what you want. So please tell people what you want.
And even more than that, they don't know what you want, and then they see that you don't know what you want.
So what you guys are saying is, if I have a cool business idea, if I don't ask at least for the minimum viable product, which is another rabbit hole we would love to get into, but we can't do it today. I'm not gonna get no money if I have a good pitch deck.
I can't give you 50%, 20%, 100% of zero. I need to see what's on there.
Hey, word.
And going back to the financial projection slide, these numbers need to be real. They cannot be made up. They cannot be pulled from the sky.
Yeah.
Research needs to be done on these numbers because investors are going to want to know what their investment is specifically going to. And if you have things like $125,000 for water slides, they might not want to invest in you. Keep in mind, these are the example numbers because, like I said before, we signed a lot of NDAs.
Yeah. So and for what it's worth, these numbers here are actually real numbers based on the business itself. Equilibrium is one of our sponsors for today. They have done these things. They're going to be a business that you want to talk to based on what they do. And we just literally, because honestly, the slide is beautiful. And so we changed things from Rockets tickets to water because there's not a soul that actually wants to go to the Houston Rockets game right now.
Yeah, that should be Jeep parts.
Jeep parts. Yeah, Jeep parts and cigars. It should be one of the other T.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out we're sitting here talking about the desires of everything else. Hey, rest of the team, what would you want for 25K? No,
it doesn't matter.
Never mind.
Anyway,
Okay.
So important thing here is you see the percentages. The percentages are an important thing. So the numbers, let's say you get, let's use 243K. There's a chance that when you dig into this interested investor, there might be some extra costs. It might be 275, whatever, but the ratio still should be the same. Like, this is how much I need for working capital. This is how much I need for this the technology piece. The ratio still should be the same, even if the final number varies a little bit. So that's going to be an important thing because most investors, they don't use the numbers, they use percentages anyway.
So these are some of our do's and don'ts. We talk about the things that we love. We talk about the things that grind our gears. So I'm gonna take the first because I love research. So you're gonna see it again when we talk about the don'ts. I am Dr. Doug. I really love the research. I love to see when people do what they're supposed to do. They understand what their business is. They understand what their business is based on everything else. But what actually is important to you, Nick?
Yeah, preparation. If I'm taking that one, or was that you?
No, that's you.
Okay. Yeah. So preparation. I want your story to be cohesive. So I want you to get to that point where the pitch deck like the back of your hand, your numbers like the back of your hand, so that you can just talk and just connect to people. And hey, this business, because your business is your baby. Your business is who you are. So you want people to feel that energy, and you never get to that point if you haven't mastered everything through preparation. If you don't feel secure in what it is that you're conveying.
And so my big do is going to be practice. I mentioned it earlier a little bit, but practice, practice, practice. So it might sound cliche, but what I've learned from working with multiple businesses and preparing for a pitch competition is you have to practice. And when I say practice, I mean you perfect your pitch and then you do it at least 20 more times. Because every time you do it after you perfect it, because it's gonna be some trash before. It's gonna be some trash. It's gonna be a lot of deleted videos. If you have an iPhone, your storage might be out of there.
Oh, here we go.
Android.
Here we go.
I love Apple digs. Those are bonus points.
But no, seriously, no. You have to practice and keep practicing, because the more you practice your pitch, the more comfortable you will be.
Yep.
So like I always, before every presentation that I do, I like to perfect it, and then I have at least 10 to 20 more times after that. Because once you get it right, you're only gonna get better.
And that wipes off that fakeness that sometimes might be on there. Like, hey, because this is a production that you're putting on, but that making it feel natural, that comes from practice.
Well,
Right.
but let's talk about what grinds your gears.
What
You know that full Peter Griffin. What grinds your
What
gears?
grinds my gears?
I'm gonna take this to the end. So we're gonna let Rel take it, and then Nick's gonna take it, and then I'll close it.
So what really, really, really grinds my gears?
Grinds your gears.
About pitch decks.
Your gears though.
Do not have ugly slides.
What do you
Yeah.
mean by ugly slides? Get some
Listen. When I see a slide that's not pleasing to my LASIK surgery,
information.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Not the LASIK.
You cook it.
So
Cook.
too many
It-
words.
it-
It looks like a Bible.
it
on the
irritates
screen.
me, and I cannot. I'm not taking nothing on the slide seriously.
Right.
Like I'm irritated as an investor. I'm not looking at ugly slides.
Can I tell?
Please hire somebody if you're not graphically
Rel,
inclined.
can I tell a story about you?
Go ahead.
So there was one time where at the beginning of this business where Rel and I were dealing with the young man who thought he was gonna do what they do at Chili's already, and so he believed that the Chili's point of sale thing where you could just hit the button
And play games on it.
and play games on it. He thought it didn't exist. Well, we knew it already existed.
He had
and-
no competitors.
and he actually did, like, it was gonna be him. And he gave us the high school my first pitch deck thing, where it was like all you had to do was open up PowerPoint and then like type words on it and then turn it to brown. And that was his presentation. And I told him to have a nice day.
Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, you could at least put a PowerPoint template on it. It was white background with black words.
It was
just-
like black and brown. And he was like, "Where's my money at?" And I was like, "Not here with us."
I hate ugly slides, y'all. If you're not graphically inclined, Deck Launch is here.
That's a fact. So mine would be telling an unclear story. Whenever you ask somebody for money or somebody's about to give you money, they want to know why. If you tell them a story that doesn't make sense, I mean, that's about it. It's over. So you want to make sure that, hey, this is why I'm doing this. This is how I'm going to do it. This is who's going to be doing it with me. This is the cost that's associated with it. Every box needs to be checked so that you can get what you deserve.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that, Nick. And kind of towards that point, the pitch decks that we showed you, the slides that we showed you guys on the pitch deck, we tried to make it a clear story. We're telling the problem, the solution, the where's the market at? How are we gonna get to the market? How are we gonna get to the money? And what do we need to make this happen? The story has to be clear, and that's another reason why I extremely love pitch decks.
Absolutely. It's the fundamentals. And the most important to me, as I am Dr. Doug, it's always about your research. What do you know? And if somebody comes for you, you should send them away because you should have good research. And that's basically what it is. You should always know what your research says and what the industry says and what the world says. And if you do that, then you're going to be all right. So in telling y'all this, we're very grateful that everybody can hear the Prezi first. What we're gonna do is we are introducing a new program for us at Deck Launch and Fresh Tech. We're doing a we're doing a pitch deck competition. So we have four really awesome businesses that are going to give us their opinion. Today we're going to lift them up, and the winner will receive a pitch deck from us. Now that winner is going to get knocked down about April, about June-ish, when they get into the really true the true tournament, which is what we call the Final Four. There, we're going to be doing March Madness every 3 months, but we want to make sure that we're showing some love to some people. So what we're going to do, of course, hit us up, FreshTechSolutions.you can book me. I'll make sure that we put this in the comments later. But here, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are ready for our heroes that are going to be pitching with us. I believe that Antoine Pegues, who's a FAMUan, should be here. Antoine, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How y'all doing?
There he is. Antoine, we can't hear you.
Can you not hear me? Hey, step out real fast. Hold on one sec. I'm sorry.
And we can see
it
Lennox.
out. Yeah, he's bad. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So
how y'all doing?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Welcome, Antoine. Thank you for being with us.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
So since Antoine is here, we're gonna tell you guys the rules. So this is literally not one of these things where like it's Shark Tank. We're gonna beat people down and then we really want to make sure that we can provide people with an opportunity to understand what their business looks like, and then on top of that, make sure that we can help them. So what Antoine and everybody else is gonna do, they're gonna have 2 minutes to pitch. And then between me, Nick, and Rel, we're gonna ask them questions. And so we're gonna ask them questions for 10 minutes. And then by Wednesday, they are gonna have a pitch, and the winner will get a pitch deck, and they will be the first, they'll be the first champ that's gonna go with us in June. And that is gonna be the coolest thing ever. This is also sponsored by Google. Everybody who's participating today is gonna get some Google swag. We really appreciate you. I was trying to find some Google money for your business. I promise. Hey man, boy, man, I was trying to get the money. But in time. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us your 2 minutes, brother.
All right. Okay. So the business I'm working on is a site and application that utilizes existing music streaming services that allow users to generate user-created playlists and put them in one space. So I'm going to create an application that aggregates playlists and curations into one space that we can all get to and access all at once. So as you know, many people have 1 or 2 music streaming services on their phone, whether it be Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, you have Amazon, you have Pandora. These sites allow you to create your own playlists, and these playlists comes with links. And what I can do is aggregate these links, put them in one spot so that everyone can come to my app and then get to your music. The idea is to spread influence by the curators, people who want to make music, and also spread the music that they're curating. So it works twofold. So you have DJs who have mixes they want to get out, and then that site, SoundCloud, is included. And what this site will do will allow that to be disseminated to the people. That is the bare bones of what I'm trying to do.
And so that's fantastic. So I'll take the first question. My biggest question is, do you think this is something that people are going to use every single day? It sounds like it. I mean, like what I said, but like, why would people use this every day, Antoine?
I feel like people will use it when they're looking for something to listen to. And I feel like they'll use it every day as well, as if if you want to say, I want to find out what Doug is listening to this week, and Doug just curated a new playlist, you go straight to the app, and there's Doug on my app, and whichever platform you choose to use, your playlist will be represented on the application. So people want to use this to just find new music. And honestly, when you're sitting around doing leisure time, that's another way just to search and find. And it's another avenue for people to discover new music and discover people who love music.
Anton, I have my question for you is where the money reside?
The money's gonna reside that's multifaceted. So in the early stages of the website, you can be ad revenue, clicks and streams. After that, we done got the info, we done got the attention of major labels. Now we have label funding. They want us to join in and do partnerships. Oh, we love this site. We want you to put our playlist up here. Do that from there. That's another way to get money. Another thing, subscription based. We get enough user base for our curations. We can say it's a monthly subscription. Sign up for this website, $5.99, $4.99, $3.99. You're able to get access to all these curated playlists made by real people who love music.
I have a question too.
Was that follow?
Nick,
Is that follow-up?
Nick's on you, man. Go ahead, Nick.
So, have you done any financial projections as far as
75? How much is the site's gonna make? Financial projections?
Both, because the thing that scared me a little bit was $3.99, $4.99, $5.99.
What is the price?
I lowballed myself. Yes, I did. I did lowball myself. Yes.
Yeah,
But
we need big numbers over here, man.
I got you. I understand. I did lowball myself, but it's to say that we want entry to be vast because we want the numbers. So
and it's not about lowballing yourself. 99 cents could be perfect. It's just we need to know. We need to know what makes sense. If 99 cents makes sense, it makes sense. $5.99 could make sense. If this is something that,
okay, well,
if I'm trying to give you $2 million, I need to know exactly I need break-even points. I need to know how much people are paying. I need to know how much you're making off of this. So start thinking about those kind of things. Go ahead.
Those kind of questions. Okay.
Okay. What do you identify as your biggest hurdle with establishing this? Just whatever phase you are for this idea. What's the biggest threat to it?
The biggest hold right now is the server space, getting the website live. So being able to get the technology together to getting the space for saving these links and getting the app out into the world. I have a working website version, but it's go ahead.
I said, oh, you need Fresh Tech.
Yeah, I enjoyed your presentation. I saw that Fresh Tech had everything I needed, and I was like, I should hire Fresh Tech.
No, but what I was asking more is, do you anticipate having a problem with licensing, getting licenses to the music and being able to?
Okay, the licensing issue would be handled by the streaming sites themselves, and then when it comes to the DJ mixes, the licensing will be handled through ASCAP. So we'll be able to reach out through them and get the permissions we need to allow us to promote and perform the music on our site.
Have you started that process as far as reaching out to them and see how it kind of how that works?
I have drafted a couple letters, but I have not been able to get any feedback from them.
I'll be interested to know, because my question also would be like, what incentives do they have to work with you? What do you? We know what you want from them, but what are you giving back to them?
Well, our incentive is I'm giving them the ability to mind the minds of the people who buy their products. So I'm saying that we have people who are curating music from their artists. We're talking about the major labels, and you have your consumers giving them back what they've consumed in a form that they want to present to the people. So I'm giving them the ability of you're not, instead of it being zeros and ones and numbers and analytics, you have a literal person saying, these are the songs that I want to spread. And this is my curated playlist I'm promoting has a curator.
Yep. But what you're doing is not out there. So this is the question. So like sometimes people, so like just because it's not out there and you're doing something that's new does not mean that it's necessary. Why do you think this is necessary?
Right,
Because
right.
because I believe that a lot of, for me, a lot of the playlisting out there is done by analytics, and analytics is not going to drive music. People drive music. So I want to put people back in the driver's seat. So that's why I wanted to build this website that allows curators to share the curations across multiple platforms, make it a one space, one stop shop. Take something from FAMU. Shout out to the home team.
Hey man, hey look, hey man, College of Love and Charity, we're here.
Definitely.
Well, Darrell may not be here for that.
Hey man, I'm here for all. I'm a PV guy, but I love my HBCUs and I
Yeah,
love
man, it's
my
all
family.
love. Definitely.
So thank you for your time. We're going to wait for the next one.
Okay.
Good job, Anton.
Thank you. I'm glad I was able to fulfill your questions.
Yeah, no,
So-
definitely.
Awesome.
So we're looking for we're waiting for the next group that's coming. Hope so. I mean, if the next group that's coming is Philly Bros. So Philly Bros is a coffee company. What they're doing is coffee in um, in places that are not necessarily the most respected places. I mean, like everybody likes a little bit of Jamaican Blue Mountain, right? But like it's a black owned company, right? And so this is the thing, and this is what we see. So let's talk. So Rel, let's talk about funding and how funding affects black businesses. I mean, since we're here, fam, let's talk about what it really means when we're in there. As Raj is connecting. Raj, you're fine. Give me a second. But Rel, give me a sound bite about what it means to be a black early stage early stage business.
I mean, the best way to describe it is really hard, y'all. It's really hard, you guys. Being a black-owned business, we don't get the opportunities that these businesses has been passed down for generations and generations. We don't have that kind of capital to start off with. So for black-owned businesses, from my experiences and my personal experience, it's very, very, very hard to get funding. I had my little 30,000 fund, and I very, very appreciated it. And did not come from a black person, but that opportunity, I haven't heard that opportunity happen too much. So it is we are out here in a big fight, in a big struggle. And we just got to keep pushing, and things are changing. Things are changing beautifully, actually.
Yep.
I remember talking to somebody right after the Black Lives Matters epidemic happened during the pandemic. And I remember telling somebody, it's a great time to be a black-owned business.
Yep.
And when I said that, I realized to myself, I had never said that a day in my life before. That was the first time that I said it's good to be a black-owned business owner. And that's crazy.
And the second thing that I said, I remember when he said it, because I was sitting next to him, I was like, life comes at you fast. And it's because of who we are. And so without further ado, I apologize, Raj. I saw you pop up. So we have Roger, and tell us about your business.
How we let him in?
Wait. That's not him on the top.
Unmute, Raj. Wait,
Mute.
let me see if I can. He's on mute. No,
These kids have their right to say it, express it,
No, that's
Well,
me.
Is he perhaps the
My
unknown
bad.
person?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good. We can hear you well, Rob.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bo.
Sorry about that. Yep. So I actually have my business partner on here as well. His name is Bobby Merriweather. But we are the Philadelphia Coffee Bros, the Philly Coffee Bros.
Yep.
What we do is source the finest beans from the best countries, and we bring those directly from farm to table.
Awesome.
What we do is essentially go to the finest places. So give an example from a coffee perspective. Obviously, everybody knows Colombia is a coffee place. Jamaica is also a coffee place. There are a number of coffee places that are around the country as well as the world that we actually go and target these places. We look for not only organic beans, but sustainable beans that are going to be not only good for the environment, but be able to provide jobs for people in these particular places. Bear with me. I'm not certain if did Bobby actually join. I'm not certain if you guys can see him also.
Bobby, are you in here? Because I'm actually texting Bobby right now. Forgive me if Bobby could not get in. Bobby, are you there? Bobby, please. No. Yeah, like I'm.
Cities.
I thought he'd be.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
He said
One
he's
moment.
he said he's on. I just
moment.
wanted to make sure that he was.
Yeah. I just.
It's gonna pop on. Give me a second.
I didn't get that.
There you go.
Try again?
Can we? So we would love to hear Bobby's perspective as well.
Bobby, if you could please turn your camera on.
How about that? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
There we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go, Robbie.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, awesome. So I mean, as my brother, I call him my brother Raj, as he mentioned, we're from Philly, from uptown Philly in Germantown, and we never thought that we would be, able to do something like this. So we want to obviously have a through and through Black-owned business, not just a commercialized Black-owned business that has Black faces, but it's not really owned by Black people, but have a through and through Black-owned business that not only produces job opportunities for us here in the States, but job opportunities in those melanated countries that we go to go source our coffee. So we're trying to create like a win-win-win, and that also builds a network within like different orchestrations or organizations and groups of people. So when we go out and have a good time, we have somebody to talk to, and vice versa when they come to the States. So we're just trying to create an overall story and then bring something back to our neighborhood and other neighborhoods like that around the country.
And this, as a guy who's lived in Philly for a little while, the big question I gotta ask, because Rel's gonna ask it. How do we tech it out, man? How do we make this shit a tech thing?
But how do we tech it out?
Yeah, make it tech.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you asked that question. So right now I live in Silicon Valley. I've been in tech for about like 5 years, focusing on cybersecurity. I work for one of the largest cybersecurity companies in the world, and I also plug and chug with other technology companies. So being in that mix, I understand a little bit about artificial intelligence, and Raj and I actually was talking about this yesterday. Artificial intelligence not only has the ability to support a marketing effort, so we could bring the product that consumers want quicker to consumers, cut out the middleman, and that way it's a shorter price for them. But also we could show our people how to utilize technology in similar fashions that other great people have done, where we could leverage like QR codes or different predictive analytics, so we can show them how to do what Netflix does essentially, which is, okay, you bought a certain product, you might be interested in these products based on your consumer profile. So there are ways for us to do it, and we can connect those dots. Raj, you got anything to add on that?
No, that's 100%. I think about, ideally from a coffee perspective, whether you're in a coffee shop or a supermarket buying coffee, imagine if you're able to see a commercial, see the coffee in reality before you actually go and purchase. You can get a better understanding of the different flavors on top of just reading something from, a lot of people are visual. Some people don't need to just read something, they want to see it. We're going to be able to try to provide with the tech industry those abilities to be able to see even before you purchase while it's in your hand. And you know, what we're going to be doing with our beans, I feel like the way we source them, these are what we like to call one-of-one beans. We do all the legwork to go to the farms. We do all the legwork to work with the farmers to make sure that the bean, as far as its cultivation from seed to plant, is 100% sustainable. So what that means is once we get these into the stores around the country, we're going to look ideally to be able to provide an app that says, this one-of-one bean is in your area and this is how you go find it. So providing all of those different opportunities with tech, and just marketing and just giving that customer experience, something that is unique, something that is organic from the sense of we're two separate individuals that came together from one place that went and traveled the world to come back to that location and bring you the best that the world has to offer.
And so
And then have a nonprofit component to it. Just real quick, nonprofit component. We're big on STEAM. You know, that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So we can go out and get the money, and then we could have that resource to be able to pour into our underprivileged communities that don't necessarily have the money to get that kind of education, and just all circumvent. So it's kind of what we want to have it do. You know, similar to the tithing methodology.
Doc, he didn't want me to ask where the money resides.
Oh, he
answered the question before
B hit you on the head, like he didn't.
Yeah.
So he gave you the full drop kick, and one of the things that I would tell you guys, because this is even though this is kind of Shark Tankery, but like we're not really trying to hurt y'all. And we want to be able to give y'all some love, and like what y'all are doing with nature, what you want to do on the functional piece, like on the tech piece, you're doing it right. Like you're doing it 100% right.
Yeah. And I have a lot of questions, y'all. I love what I'm hearing. There's only I only know about one other Black-owned coffee shop in Houston. In Houston, of course.
There's one.
But still, that goes back to that competition thing I was talking about earlier. You have competition somewhere out there. But what I want to know is, do y'all have like y'all have a location currently?
No, there is no brick and mortar at this current time.
Is that the plan?
I believe we want to start with wholesale, because then we can partner and empower other Black-owned businesses that might sell coffee or have other products that might be able to produce.
Right. And that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be a brick and mortar. I was just trying to figure it out. I mean, it might be better to not have a brick and mortar if that's, you know, if that's your plan. If you're trying to be that source, then, you know, maybe later on after you're established and everything, a brick and mortar will be something just to have people to come through. But yeah, I really like that. I originally, when y'all first started talking, I had questions about scalability, because I was thinking, when you said Black-owned coffee shop, I was thinking it was a location. Okay, that location is limited to the people around y'all. But that's why, I mean, I don't have any questions, because y'all answered my scalability, my money reside. I don't know. Y'all okay? Go ahead, Nick. Take it from me.
Question with the scalability as well, but then I love when you talked about the artificial intelligence part. So that is something that's scalable. So I can see a situation where me in Houston, I can own my own 5 or 6 coffee plants somewhere in Colombia, and I could see that go away from there all the way to getting on my desk. So that's definitely something that's scalable and differentiates you. I still would advise maybe having one location where somebody can come in and see all your coffee, and still feel your energy.
In Philly, of course.
Feel the ethos of Philly, what it is, and then replicating that, because at the end of the day, you know, Starbucks is not just selling coffee. Like when you walk into a Starbucks, you have a certain experience and that's where you start making, you know, your money starts quadrupling. But then my other question was, how has the pandemic affected your mindset as far as how you see your business going? You know, has it changed some of the things, like you mentioned, like when you asked you a question about the brick and mortar?
How long?
How long what?
Have this idea been in process?
Okay. Well, you can ask a question after me.
All right, it's working together. We picking it up.
I was asking,
we write notes.
How was the pandemic? You know, we've seen what tech has done and how everybody's businesses quick pivoting. So how has the pandemic made you pivoting your ideas, and how long has the idea been going?
Thank you.
So well, I'll just kick it off. But Roger, you got a great like button on this. So I taken a trip to Jamaica last year and came back literally a week before the pandemic became a thing. And we were like, wow, we just made it back. But while I was there, I always just try to think, okay, how could I get what I love to do paid for? That's just bottom line. Like, I don't want to pay for the stuff I love to do. And I looked it up and I was like, I heard Jamaica got good coffee. I look at world's top 10. They were in the top 10. I was like, damn, look at all these other countries. These would be great places to travel to. I know my boy Raj has a travelers program. So I called him. I was like, bro, I'm bringing back some coffee. And like, we could really make this a thing. Then the pandemic hit, right? That didn't stop our hustle because we, shout out to Philly, shout out to everywhere, but we from uptown, we go getters, right? Yeah, we from uptown. You know what I'm saying? We get that bread. We get that bread. No, shout out all. But I mean, real talk, it's just, I was like, Raj has always been like a go-getter, you know what I'm saying? And we always talked about it. We wanted to do something that could bring opportunities back to our hometown. And I was like, why not to put two and two together? Everybody loves coffee despite the pandemic. Everybody wants to travel. And right now when travel is shut down, it's like a bubble that's about to pop. Let's beat that wave, give everybody what they need, everything that everybody wants that they do every day anyway. And then when the pandemic kind of gets under control and people start traveling, they remember. And like to Rod's point, they use the AI technology, like, oh, I actually I'm traveling to this location in Colombia, I'm traveling to this location in Ethiopia or Kenya or Jamaica, and I want to follow this, I'm gonna find this bean. You know what I'm saying? And then they could have like a customer vendor relationship where they could contact us and we just, empower them. So yeah.
And pandemic hasn't really stopped things from my perspective. I am very resourceful. So I was in Colombia November and December at the coffee fields. I'll be in Jamaica this coming Thursday at the coffee fields, because what we do, as I mentioned, is cultivate not only a business relationship, but a legitimate relationship with these people. Although we're all from different countries, we speak different languages, we come together under not only being the fact that we're all melanated, but because we see that we are all enterprising and trying to make something happen. So from to answer your question regarding how the pandemic has changed things, honestly, it's kind of gotten more of a fire going more so than normal. The reason why is because certain things from my normal daily jobs, they changed a little bit. So it was more so, how do we find different opportunities, not only to make an income, but make an act. So we actually were able to kind of expand and gain a little bit more traction with the pandemic happening, because we had a lot more attention and nobody was coming and we were coming. So that kind of made us stand out a little bit, as these guys are serious and ready to make a impact.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. I love that because I'm in the same situation. It's hard. It's hard to talk. I feel like it's hard to talk good about the pandemic with so much bad things going on. But us being a tech company in the pandemic was probably the best thing that could have happened to us.
But it's dope because like you guys have something that's magical, and what we're trying to do. I mean, like even with our first guy, we're looking at all this magic, and what you guys are doing is dope, and we want to make sure that we can be supporters of it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
It's
so
the
much
team for me.
Hey, what's
up? That team cold.
Hey, send us your address. We'll send y'all some free coffee too on the way.
Hey,
5120
sure.
Goodway Drive.
Get it to Doug. Get it to Doug.
Hey, look. Ain't beyond no coffee, boy.
Hey, what's up?
Listen, tech is innovation. To answer your question, lastly, innovation is what led to what we're on the phone about today. I'm in technology, Bobby's in technology. What we're doing is trying to not only give you something that you guys can readily digest today, but continuously take the new technology that comes in and really infiltrate that into our marketing, our advertising, the livelihood and the bloodline of what our business is going to be. So I do appreciate everybody's time here today. Bobby and I also, please send us an address. We can get some coffee out to you guys very quickly.
Absolutely.
We'll do that for sure.
Definitely.
One of the things I want y'all to know is our first guy was a Fam Ewing. This young man is a Morehouse.
I'm
man.
sorry.
Roger,
to hear that. No, I'm just
Roger
Morehouse.
Morehouse. But this is the love. The love is there.
The HBCU
I
love. I
There's
love
nothing-
it, y'all.
Nah, that's real.
There's nothing
That's
better than HBCU love. Man, I'm so grateful for y'all. Honestly, y'all send me that coffee. I'm drinking it. I'm drinking it like every
I
day.
don't even drink coffee. I'm drinking.
Give me your address, Dougie. I'll send it your way. Thank you guys very much.
Easy.
God luck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good one.
So
righty.
Jerome, you there? Jerome, Kenny. Jerome.
I'm in here. Hold on. Let me get over.
There you go. There you
Turn the
go.
video on. Turn the video on, Jerome.
I'm back.
So for what it's worth, it just kills me to not say Jerome in the house, just due to the fact. Don't
do it.
No, I wouldn't.
Hey, look behind him. It says house.
But that's because FAMU house. But you can't.
That's him right there. Right?
No, yes. So you can't say Jerome in the house, because if Jerome finds me after this, he's gonna beat me. So like y'all cannot. So his idea.
Jerome in the house, find Doug and beat him.
No, we're not doing this today. We're not doing this today.
Okay,
Diggy,
What's up?
Jerome, tell me about how great your idea is, because you got one.
Oh yeah, man. I'm trying to get some of that coffee too.
Oh my God,
right.
My
Finish
God.
your address.
Hey.
All right, so good to be back. I was in here earlier, in my other capacity. But my business idea is actually a Asheville Road mobile cigar shop and lounge. And so essentially what it is, we live in a city, Houston, where cigar culture over the last couple of years is really taken off, probably over the last 2-3 years. What you had is a niche market where you had guys getting together in cigar lounges, all over the city, all over, cigar lounges all over the country. And, it was like a barbershop atmosphere. You had guys getting together, smoking, talking politics, talking sports, talking pop culture. In the city of Houston, though, that culture, even though it's blowing up, it's become an entire subculture. You have cigar events centered around fashion. You have cigar events centered around clothing. Around car culture. You have cigar events centered around fundraising. We are limited in Houston though, because of the laws. So it's a tobacco store in Houston or a cigar shop in Houston can only sell cigars or can only sell tobacco. They cannot sell alcohol. They cannot sell food. So I thought to myself, man, how do we take this cigar culture and expand it past? Because right now you have people who are not just the guys in cigar lounge smoking. You have people who don't smoke often. You have more recreational cigar smokers. You have women who are coming into the culture a lot more. So how do you take that out of just a cigar lounge and you put it somewhere else when you can only sell cigars in cigar lounges, no alcohol, no food? So I had the idea to come up with Asheville Road Mobile Cigar Lounge and Shop. So what this is essentially it's a trailer. It's a car hauler, 20 to 24 feet. It will be retrofitted with a full humidor and also with lounge chairs, leather sofas, seating, bars, stools, everything like that, TVs. And what it does is it allows us to bring the cigar culture and cigar shop to any location we want to. So imagine you're at a bar, you're out on the patio, and a lot of the bars you see around Houston, they'll have maybe a cigar vendor there and he has a table with his one humidor, maybe 15, 20 cigars. You can buy one for $10, $15. He doesn't have very much of a selection. He also doesn't have usually very good storage of the cigars, and he's probably kind of overpriced. So imagine you take that guy, you give him a full humidor and also a location where you don't have to be in the elements to smoke, but you're taking that atmosphere of whatever location you're at and you're expanding it into our mobile cigar lounge. So we pull up, park it right outside the venue. Of course, not every venue will be able to do it, but a lot of bars do have outside patios where we'd be able to pull right up. You'd be able to converse with everybody at the location. You'd be able to get on and off the the trailer, the lounge, with your drinks from that, with your food from that facility, and we're not breaking any laws. We're not, gonna get any tickets from the city.
This is
So-
this
so-
sound like, this
Oh,
sound,
go
this
ahead.
sounds this sounds good. This sounds good, Ron. I really like the idea. Let's see what the board say. So Nick, what do you got for it?
Yeah, the idea sounds good. My only, I guess, only concern, which is not a real concern, because I can already see where it's a win-win situation for the location that you're coming to, and for you, bringing people to that location, improving whatever event that or any spot that you are. But how do you negotiate? What things concern you about having difficulty to make a partnership or show up anywhere with somebody? You mentioned that most people have a cigar place or they have hookah. Do you think that there will be a little bit of friction there when you say, hey, I want to pull up and this is what I can do for you? Do you think there'll be some friction there? Have you had any friction in the past?
I do think there will be some friction. Initially, what I would do is find locations that are kind of like off that path. So essentially, like for instance, if you take a 50-15, they already have Sweet Lips that goes there and they sell cigars. So in that kind of situation, I would avoid trying to trample on someone else's territory. But because we're one mobile cigar lounge, there's places we can go without having to step on anybody else's toes. Now there is to the thing about negotiating with vendors. That is a concern I have, because just like with food trucks, some vendors you go to, they will want you to, hey, 15% of your revenue, 20% of your revenue. So what I would have to do is essentially come up with something that's beneficial for both of us.
Right.
If I'm bringing people to your location because they want to smoke, because I have a greater selection than which a person traveling with their cigar case may have, then I'm sure we could come up with an agreement that would be beneficial for the both of us.
That's well said. I mean, it's going to be ongoing, but that's really my only area of concern, and it's not really an area of concern. It's just a nuanced thing that you have to negotiate. So,
Right.
Cool.
Can you talk to me about the Monty?
Oh yeah, definitely. So a couple different ways. So of course, with it being a cigar shop, margins on cigars are usually about 50%. So what you're looking at is not only from the selling of cigars, but also the lounge would be available for rent or lease for special events. So you're talking about a charity event, a fundraiser, whatever it may be, a wedding. Weddings are big. It would actually be able to be leased for the night, and so that's another source of revenue there. So those two things. So even when we don't have maybe a night that's not good for the cigar lounge as far as selling cigars point of sale, those could be good nights for special events and things like that, and we're still making our money.
I like this idea.
I like that too. So I know we kind of touched on scalability a little bit. Well, we didn't touch on it, but I kind of heard some scalability in your pitch. But let's talk more about scalability as far as
What's next?
Yeah, like how we if it's if this thing blows up tomorrow and you got 3 million people coming at you, what's the plan?
So the plan would be essentially kind of just like a food truck. So it would be to open up additional, lounges. So I would assume, and just in my planning and my thought process, I would probably have to expand to other cities prior to having to expand within Houston. But if that was a thing where the demand is so great in Houston, I don't see an issue because the overhead for it is not really all that high. So I don't think there would be an issue with securing another car hauler, retrofitting it in a short amount of time, and then being able to service. Maybe some nights we service both. We're servicing private events and we're at doing point of sale retail at bars and restaurants.
That's great. So I take it you have one right now?
No, I don't have one yet.
Oh, one.
Yeah.
Yep, this
That's good.
this is an early stage idea. So
solid.
so I mean, since we're with the guys, so we've heard 3 early stage ideas. Thank you, Jerome.
No problem,
thank
man. I
you
appreciate
so much. So like we heard 3 early stage ideas. We have one more. I think if Nikel is on. Nikel, are you on? Nikel?
Unmute.
Is that Nikel? No, that's Jerome. Nikel. You seen Nikhil?
No.
No, I don't see.
No worries. We will give Nikhil a quick second. Beyond that, then what we'll do is we'll talk about some of the things that we're doing. Nikhil, drum roll. Nikhil, going once. Nikhil, going twice. Nikhil Dixon.
But in the meantime, I mean, what do you guys think about these ideas so far?
So
I'm so sorry, excuse me. There are a couple of unknown users and I'm trying to make sure that Nikhil is not one of them.
Indeed.
This one is
Indeed.
And Nikhil, if you're there, if you could type something in the chat so I can get you to the front. Thank you.
Right. Give me a high five, Nikhil. Like we don't want to move on, but if we have to move on. So thank you. So this is what we'll do while we're waiting for Nikhil, if she is or is not here. We are so grateful that you guys could hear us talk to businesses. So what you guys saw was part of what we normally do with our businesses. So when you work with us, we try to figure out if our businesses if business ideas suck or not. We use the term suck. It's not necessarily the most favorable term. I don't use this at the university when I work with my students, but like we really use that as a collective for our businesses, because we really want to make sure it's very clear if their idea is good or not. What you guys have seen were 3 very good ideas. You saw an amazing idea at the beginning that talked about building out playlists in a tech platform where you can search playlists the same way you look for music. That was unbelievable because nobody's done that yet. That's the hotness. Like if people are looking for the new hotness, that's the new hotness. But we additionally had a coffee company that is blending the love between Colombian coffee and Jamaican coffee with the Blue Mountain and putting it all together and making a blend that you've never tasted before. And then finally, we closed out with an idea that I've never heard before, and I'm sure you guys have never heard of either, where the cigar, you don't go find a cigar, the cigar finds you at one of these social places that you've been at. And so all 3 of these places all 3 of those guys have done something that is unbelievable. Everybody is making a significant difference where they have a competitive advantage against anybody who's coming after them, because people are not thinking the way they do. Even with the coffee is easy for you guys to be able to look at, it's just coffee. Exactly. No, they went to Colombia and then they backdoored and they blended it with Jamaican coffee.
You going to Jamaica on Thursday?
On Thursday. Like, I want to go to Jamaica too. So these are the great things. These are the blessings. These are the things that you see. One of the greatest things that we want to be able to do that we showed you guys today is this was cool to have all of these businesses tell us their blessings. Like they are sharing, they literally share things that they could be worried about everybody else emulating or doing something different that affects their businesses. But they were vulnerable enough to talk to us. So they're going to get some blessings from one of our sponsors, Google. So there's going to be one winner, but the losers will get some blessings from Declan. Well, there ain't no loser. I mean, we're gonna show every team some love. The winner is going to get a pitch deck, but what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the feedback that we're writing down right now, and we're going to give all 3 of those businesses some love. We're going to tell them what it looks like. And then on Wednesday, what they're going to do is by Wednesday or Thursday, they're going to post on Deck Launch's Instagram their new pitch. And what you guys are going to do is vote. And the winner is going to get their pitch deck sponsored by us. And a pitch deck sponsored by us just doesn't mean they're getting the service. What we do with our pitch decks, every one of our pitch decks goes to our investors and our investor clients. And we believe in all of them. The best thing is all three of those guys and gals who pitched today, they're going to get to one of our get to our investors one way or another. We're going to take the time to do that.
And one thing that I really loved about the businesses that pitched today is I really like businesses that make a difference, that can change the world, that change the interactions of people. And that's what it's really about. How can you make a change? How can you make a difference in the world? And I really like those our three participants today, because I see all of them trying to change something in the world that's disruption.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, what I like is that, these ideas were very good. I like that they were authentic to the people who were presenting them. And you see that you don't have to, find a cure to cancer to invest, to find a business that you can get behind, or that you can that can be your own. You can really do it from the sphere of the things that you enjoy, the things that you already know, and then that way you become the secret sauce. Yes, you can I can fly to Jamaica tomorrow and try to find coffee, but I can't do what they're doing because they're the secret sauce, because that's them.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that's what I really loved about all three of these ideas. They're unique to the people who are doing them, and it was really believable coming from them. So I love that.
One of the things that I will tell you that made everything so unbelievably amazing is that every one of our clients, but our participants, hopefully future clients, maybe that's like, me just, Freudian slip, Freudian slip, but no, everybody who participated today, they knew how to tech it out. You know what I'm saying? And so they understood that tech was a very important role that they could play.
Future. Yep.
And this is what it is if you look at the numbers, people wake up in the morning and the first thing they pick up is not the Bible, it's the phone. It's the phone. The phone, 51% of people pick up the phone when they wake up every day. Every day.
Hey, Doug, I got a random something to say. I need to give a plug to one of our clients.
Fire off.
Black to Business.
Yo,
Black to Business.
yeah, so yes.
The app. It's a Black-owned business directory. One of my favorite clients.
Register for the app. Actually, anybody here who owns their own business or has a business that they know is Black-owned, definitely somewhere you should go. They have over 1,200, and right now it's in Houston, but
we're trying to expand.
No, over 12. And most right now, if you have a business, your business should not be locked by location. So you can definitely get in the Houston directory. People can still use you. I mean, everybody's on Zoom, so definitely don't make that mistake of going back and thinking that you're locked in one location.
Completely fair. The homies dropped Black to Business. The reason why Black to Business is so dope is that it is Black female HBCU alumni owned. And you can't quit it. And so I get that. I get the push. But what we would like to do, we have a whopping 15 to 20 minutes where we really need to
do questions.
No, we can do questions. If there's any questions, it's cool. If not, I will take I'll give you some of the random questions that people have. So we'll sit here with you guys. So as you guys are building questions, I'm going to ask my two business partners who, as you see, are sitting there as Rel has all the Black to Business Perry on.
I ain't got my mask.
So the biggest question that I have as the facilitator is, how scary is it We have a question. Go ahead, ask the question. Does Fresh Tech have a mutual fund, and can I put dollars into your investment pool? Ooh.
Yes, we do. We actually don't, but yes. Close the deal and figure it out later.
No, so
don't listen to what he said. No.
So in the near future, Fresh Tech is looking into going to some kind of series investment. So that you can stand out for information on that. Definitely would love to not only do what we're doing to support entrepreneurs, but also, allow participation by our people as well. So that's definitely something that's coming, hopefully by the end of this year, if not early next year.
Yeah. So what Nick's saying is real. We've been working on a couple of things. The reason why we got the Google swag for everyone who participated and a couple people who asked questions today is because the Google homie is somebody. Well, I don't know if I was supposed to say it, but like it's too late. It's too late. You
can stop right now.
There's a project, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that I know from a FAMU, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that wants to be able to make something that allows people who have early stage ideas to be able to get investors in as they're doing the thoughts. And then and as you have a thought, there's going to be somebody who make sure you're accountable for your actions. There are some systems that we've been working on. And working with, including Equilibrity that we talked about earlier. There's a lot of places for you guys where you have a dope idea, but you don't have the capital, and it's okay because that's where we're at. Even though we're at the precipice of helping people get money where the people got money, where the money resides, we're also with y'all where the money does not reside. And that's one of the things that we're very passionate about. And I'm surprised that one of these guys had not told me this to get off of my soapbox. This is the Dr. Doug soapbox right here. Like, this is like really where we're at. We love y'all, and we really want to make sure that people with dope ideas just have an opportunity for access. It's all about access. People that look like y'all don't got access.
Well, not a lot.
But we're working on that every single day. We work on that every single day.
Great question.
Great question.
Question.
I wasn't expecting that question.
Yeah,
sorry, Gerald. If we went too way down the rabbit hole, sorry. So wait for the next question.
I'm an SPI grad, so you can expect questions.
That's awesome.
5 year, 4 year. I'm sorry.
Actually, so I'm in the very early stages. So I did my undergraduate, went to work for a couple of years, came back for a couple of years. In fact, I'll put my brick up here, and you'll see I acknowledge both the year I graduated undergrad and my MBA.
I love it.
Gerald's definitely the homie. Nice
to meet you, Gerald.
Yeah, definitely. I love it, man. I love it.
So Gerald, Gerald, are you an entrepreneur? A little bit.
Yes.
So Gerald, if you had one thing you would want to tell people, what would it be?
Well, by training, I'm a financial analyst, so planning.
Yep.
You take that budget, and whatever you think you're going to make in revenues, cut that in half. Whatever you think you're going to have in expenses, triple it. And if you can still make money, then you have an idea that you can go forward with.
Jay-Z said if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it.
Not at all. But so here's the best thing, right? So now we had a financial analyst that showed love, and so the funny thing is that Darrell and Nick are both engineers. I'm a marketer, so we're gonna let Darrell and Nick give some pointers too. So which one of y'all can go ahead and flip a coin, and I just want to see what Gerald says when he laughs.
As far as what just entrepreneurs.
What are you supposed to do as an entrepreneur? I mean, what we do.
I mean, my biggest advice right now would be, getting out of the abstract with starting a business. So for business launches or product launches, sometimes you might get too into the weeds as far as what it is you're going to be doing. And this is why, not to go back to the pitch deck thing, but this is why we love one of the reasons why I love the pitch deck so much. Getting out of, hey, what it's going to look like in the abstract and getting into milestones that you can achieve to start moving forward. You know, it's as long as you're taking steps moving forward, you're going to get to that destination. But staying in one place and thinking forever is not going to get it done. Envision all the things that could go wrong is not going to get it done. So you need to transfer that from, you know, the abstract into something that can get done. This is why I love project management so much, because that's exactly what it does. Turns things into tons of ideas into visions, you know, but through the vehicle of project management, you know, gets you down the road. So that's what I love. That would be my biggest advice. Find a way to turn into actionable items, you know, into milestones that you can achieve so you can get there.
Yeah, so as the facilitator, what I'm seeing is Jared already told you where the money resides, right? So then you hear somebody who knows process. He's telling you about the nature of process and how like your process ends up to money. So like if you have a really dope idea, if you really want to make sure that you're making money, you have to make sure that you have the processes that align you to make sure that you make money. And so now we can talk to a tech savant with Rel. So Rel, what do you have for the next level?
Man, I really want to piggyback on Nick, man. My biggest problem when I started the business was that I didn't have processes. I mean, I had them in my head, kind of.
That's how it is.
but man, when I got Nick on board as the project manager, processes changed life. You know, it streamlined things. It makes us scalable. Scalability is so huge because I always like to ask people what happens if Jay-Z shares your Instagram page tomorrow.
Which happened to one of our clients.
Happened to one of our clients
like last week.
But no, what are you ready for that? And you won't be ready for that if you don't have processes in place already that are scalable processes. So processes to me is huge. Very, very huge, because at that moment when Jay-Z shares your post, you're gonna need to go and hire people and give them the process that's already written up. So process, scalability. That's all I got.
So you guys just heard literally. So the money from Brother Gerald said, hey, there is money to be made. There's money you can make based on processes. And you've heard things about processes across two engineers. They may have went to Prairie View. I forgive them for going to Prairie View. They made a bad decision, but they were they were very knowledgeable. The thing that I could put on the end of this before we close out what we did today, what we're going to do today, is it's about the people that you associate yourself with, because the nature of the beast is your business ideas are going to require you to work with people that did not come in when you made your business idea. I'm fortunate enough that I have two of my business partners that were able to talk about what we do when we work, but we need so many people to make sure that things are going to make sure that we're not stressing. And the reason why I say that is because we haven't even figured out who them people are yet. We've been doing everything by ourselves.
We got a couple of them, but
we've been doing but we've been doing really dumb hours, really dumb, stupid, dumb, inappropriate,
not inappropriate hours.
We worked these hours and like we don't but we've got to a point where we realize that we need a team and the people that love us, that want to love on the business. And this is the thing. Your business is not made just for you to have an idea to do by yourself. If you have a business you can do by yourself, you must be a Kardashian, because it might not be possible.
They don't do that business by themselves either.
And they don't do it right. They don't even do their business by themselves. You cannot make this thing run by yourself.
No, definitely, man. I'm like I said, I'm living witness proof what happened when I got a team, man. It's get a team. And not just any team, get a team who believes in your idea and your vision, and that align with that vision, because that's why Fresh Tech is so successful, because everybody believes in it. Everybody, it's their baby. It's not just my baby no more. It's everybody's baby. So I mean, it's
we're in a weird world. Zaza, you there? Don't see if Zaza can pop up. The
moderator,
president of the so
I'm here.
So Za tried to play us like we were like these amazing superheroes.
Cool.
Look at him in the background. Go ahead, girl. But Za, I really want to. We so like for the rest of our time, I really wanted to give a little bit of love to what Za's doing because like she's been asking us. We hear the wild thing is she's been with us since we've been working. We've been pushing for opportunities. The reason why we showed you a lot of the stuff, and I guess that would make it easy for us to close it out, is that all of the businesses that came from Austin on the startup side, they're where we at. So we're talking about so the Ion is where we teach them how to do pitches. We're gonna start teaching their elevator pitches very soon. So we're doing both of them. Come to Houston, come see us. But all the other programs that come through the Ion in the new building, if it's Div Inc., if it's Capital Factory, we're around. And we want to make sure that the most important things that we do with our time happen to do with Black startups, specifically Black female startups. Y'all are not. That's another. We don't have enough time for me to get on a soapbox for that. But we're here to make sure that we show love to the people who look like us, and we're so grateful to have. Showcase 3. One of those 3 will end up being in the championship tournament.
March Madness, baby.
It's March Madness now. One of them is going to get a pitch deck, and they're going to be in our tournament where in June, the champ gets to mess with us with some of the other programs that we have, and then they'll also receive some things that have to do with the monies. And Jerome, I hate your guts for saying Professor Doug is coming out. You're absolutely
He's always coming out, Jerome. He's always coming out. Randomly too.
I try not to. I really try not to be
it'd be random.
I try not to be professorly. I really try to be like the homie. But they beat it into me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zaza. I'm sorry.
You good?
But yeah, but thank y'all so much. We are here for you. Info@decklaunch.com. Dr. Doug.
Don't wrap up yet. I got questions.
There's questions.
We want questions.
Okay, it's questions.
I feel like this is a full circle moment for me because I got my MBA at University of Texas, and like Capital Factory and Div Inc. and all that stuff, like it's all the same world. All that stuff, Texas Venture Labs, all that. I went through all that process. So this is really interesting to see you. And I just have a couple of questions. It's probably going to take us to 4:30 if you don't mind.
That's fine. Let's talk about it.
So we talked about the beautiful parts of the presentation and what to expect and all that stuff. And I just have a couple of clarifying questions for people who may have like a high level I guess, awareness about how to build this. So I just wanted to kind of clarify on a few things. So the first question I have for you is, can you tell me, or does Deck Launch help coach folks in terms of maybe understanding what some quick and dirty wins would be for the marketing validation side? And what I mean by that is, how could they actually go out and do customer surveys and all that kind of stuff, just based off of your experience?
So that is an amazing question. And that's a very important question, because like most people who have like a business idea, they don't know that they don't have. So most people think that they have to have the full functional business idea before they go validate their stuff. And so like the reality is if you want to start really small, talk to the people that are closest to you. Talk to the people who will tell you the truth. So like we have friends, we have friends that'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. Go ahead. No, but there's other the people that are like really close in your circle who are gonna tell you, oh, this sucks. You need to talk to the people who will always tell you how low your idea truly is. That's where you should start. What we call that is what that is a brief focus group. It's not necessarily formal, but it's good. But you could always ask more people that are outside of your closest circle later, and those things will end up growing. And so these are the things that they tell you in the MBA. And so like in the MBA, they tell you, oh, get some focus groups, talk to people. But they don't tell you where to start. They just tell you got to get a focus group. They don't tell you that your focus group can start with the people that you actually like. And that's really what it is. There's some people that you know and that love you that will actually give you the truth.
Yes.
And you got to start with them. Then you need to go out. That's when you get to go out with everybody else. The most important thing about your business idea is you can't be sensitive. So like if you are sensitive about your shiggity and you think that like you have the greatest idea of all time, you've done it wrong. You've already done it wrong. And the reason why I can tell you that is because I work with two people who I've told them their business ideas suck. And I work with them and I invest in their businesses. I've told them this is not good, and they told me the deck launch sucks. But like that's literally what we do every day, the three of us. And so you should always be with people who are transparent.
And
first.
That's something that deck launch can help with. Also.
That's the answer.
That was actually, yeah. So
so that's fair. Oh yeah, I'll send you stuff off. Like, I'll be real. I mean, deck launch, we'll send you stuff off if it sucks. And it's a joke. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it's not. Like I'm sorry. This is, I don't want to promote that much, but like one of the things that we really pride ourselves in is transparency.
Yes.
And if your idea is not good, we're not gonna take your money.
Say not good yet. Because sometimes you might need more time.
You gotta fail fast, pick yourself up and keep it pushing.
Exactly. So we don't try to just get a check from you.
Yeah.
Just because, because we the best thing for both of us is that you succeed.
Yeah. Nick has said it the best way. Like, so there's some people who are not good yet. There's some ideas that are just not. Would it be good to tell a funny story about one of those? Is the time?
Okay, so I'll say that the most of our bad ideas
are bad.
Most of our bad ideas come from people not understanding competition,
and they don't do their research. Yeah. So the funniest one that I have, and excuse me, that was one of my students. Sorry, Dr. Doug be doctoring. So one of the wildest stories we had, it was somebody who told us that he didn't need a pitch deck at all, and he had a system that was like this. Everybody's been to Chili's now, where Chili's has a little thing, you hit the little buttons.
I was talking about the airport stuff.
Oh, the airport. So the airport one is actually worse. So we had a group that came to us, told us they had no competitors, and they wanted to basically be the Grubhub of airports. And it initially sounded like it made sense. But when I asked them a question about, do you have any competitors? They said no. So one of the things that we talk about during our presentation, during presentations with Ion and everything else, we tell people that the no-no is you always have a competitor. There's one competitor somewhere. They had 30,000 competitors. It's just not in Houston. And their app couldn't be in Houston because of some of the politics that happened to be with Houston airports. They could have been in Baltimore. They could have been in Oklahoma. They could have been in Miami. It just couldn't be in Houston. And when I told them they couldn't be in Houston, and they told me that I was a moron, which was unfortunate, we decided to cut off a relationship, because that's basically the nature of the beast. And that's what we do, is we try to give you the best. And sometimes life does not happen the way that it's supposed to. We do the best that we can. And when I tell you that we try to give people the best information that we can, we do it. We do it, and we just run. And that's what makes it so dope. Is we have a team of people who are always looking out for the best interests of people, even if they're not looking out for our best interests.
What was your second question, Zach?
The other one, and so I guess it kind of piggybacks into the last part of your answer there. To me, it just sounds like you don't necessarily have the value prop. And so I guess my question to you guys is, how do you counsel people, or what is the very first step of creating that value proposition, or putting together some sort of business strategy?
So, Nick,
the first thing is the research first. So if you go back to, if we just go back to talking about the pitch deck, you can't know the value if you don't understand what your business is like completely. You don't know where the gaps are. You can't answer any of these questions that you're asking. If you're asking, what my expenses are, or how much it's going to cost, all those things come from solid foundational knowledge about the business and the process that it is that you're doing. So once you know what it is that you're doing, then you know the market, then that gap that you're filling, that's where you start to fill in the answer to your value proposition and build off of that. So it starts with the knowledge, really making sure the founders understands their business as well as they should, not just what they know. And once you have an aggregate knowledge of everything, these kind of answers start to come. The founders will start to, this is what my value, this is what really differentiates me. And that changes over time, starts to get better and better. So I'd say it starts from research, really that knowledge, that foundation.
One of the things that you'll hear me say a lot when we do the ION presentation is all fun and games. So like as Mike Tyson said, everybody had a plan.
Your favorite quote, huh?
Everybody
3 times a day.
Everybody had a plan till they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, it's true.
I say it a lot.
It's true. No,
I do.
It's very true.
I do. And so sometimes one of the three of us always asks a question, as you see Rel out here like slide behind. Anyway, so we one of the three of us is always gonna ask a question that is a curveball, because we want to see what happens when you get punched in the mouth, because our investors really don't give a flying flip about how great the idea is. They want to see how great the managers are.
Yeah.
And so if you're a dope founder, they're more excited about a dope founder with a mediocre idea than they are with a great idea with a really, really crappy founder. That team slide was so much more. We didn't even know how important team slide it was until we had somebody with an offer that one of our clients couldn't refuse. And literally our client, who was a terrible leader.
The founders, they make the biggest difference.
It's about the founder. It's all about the founder. It's all about the founder.
The most.
It's all about the founder.
For us, how many minutes we have? 3 minutes left. Okay, for us, if just as far as like the people who are interacting, we want to get better at looking at a business or just meeting somebody and knowing this is going to be a success or not. We're building our instincts, and it's getting stronger and stronger. The most consistent thing is the quality of the founder.
Yeah, it's literally dope idea, dope people.
I call it launch intuition.
He ain't wrong. I mean, he's not wrong. But
I didn't hear it. You didn't hear it.
Launch intuition.
So launching. So the magical equation for launch intuition is good idea and good people. That's it.
Right.
It's really that. That's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
We wish we had a better. No, there's nothing else. Sweet science.
And this one last question will definitely take us over. It's okay if we have a few seconds over. So this last question is kind of a curveball for y'all. Or maybe not. You're bright. You can get this.
Nick's gonna answer it. Nick's smart.
Do you counsel folks on how much money to ask for? Now, this might be a two-part question. How much money to ask for as it pertains to equity / power, and basically where I'm coming from is just thinking about how if you have a VC that has 51% of the company, and you were kind of just going in looking at the dollar signs, and now you don't have control over your company, do you guys at all counsel folks on, you know, perhaps you should only ask for $100,000 or $50,000? Don't go in there guns a-blazing.
Oh no, Nick got it. Go ahead, Nick.
So the first thing is,
First of all, you just asked a 30-minute question.
no,
it's a rabbit hole question.
give it a,
It's a rabbit hole question.
No,
It's fine. We have a little bit more time. We were actually extremely early. We were about 10, 15 minutes early, so it's fine.
Okay.
So the first thing is
really good.
Yes, but okay. Yes, we will counsel. We give people information. First of all, starting with giving you an actual number that is solid and believable, backed with facts and real financial analysis, where you can ask, this is what I need to ask for. So we won't tell you what you need to ask for. Doesn't mean that's what you have to ask for. Doesn't mean that's what every investor is going to give you.
Yep.
Now, when you get to that point, we have a few founders at that stage. We're not going to tell you, hey, get this percentage, because you're the founder. You have to decide what you want. However, we will we'll bail you with information about the risk, you know, what it is that's going on.
Tell you about buyback clauses.
Exactly, but we're never going to tell you what that final percentage should be, because that's a founder's right only. But we will give you advice on what it looks like if somebody poses something to you. So yes, but we don't feel that it's right to make founders choose something, because at the end of the day, that's their risk. So they need to be able to sleep at night with the decision that they made, not what we made, even if we're right or wrong. You know, we need to make sure that they're the ones who make the final decision. So yes, we counsel, but up to a certain point.
Yeah, it's a wild world out there. And the reason why Nick says that is the time when we thought we were that smart, it didn't work out in our best bet. It didn't work out in our best interest. In that situation too. We're dead on right?
Perfectly right.
So like we could have lied, right? So ethics, so Doctor of Ethical Leadership, University of Thomas, what up? Ethical leadership, right? So like if we were unethical, we could have made bread. But even when we were right, this business should have went well. And the business owner made a decision beyond the 2 or 3 options we gave them. And so that's the nature of the beast, is there's so many options that you have that we cannot necessarily control, but we can tell you, hey, here's where we recommend. And then on top of that, some of the partners that we have, we're talking about Small Business University, with Houston Area Urban League, some of the other organizations we couldn't necessarily talk about because they're private organizations, but if you have a pitch deck with us, we can slide them there. We can slide you there. You have other people that you're gonna have some legal counsel with. And that's what we hit after we got burnt. We got burnt a couple times.
Yeah, and that's why I love Black-owned founders. I love Black-owned founders. They always do right.
We run straight up to who our legal counsel is, and they go to, and then everybody eats. And that's the thing, is everybody eats if you're in these communities. San Antonio, Houston, Austin all of them have a dope community where we're all working together. Just work with us. I'm not saying you have to work with Deck Launch. I'm just saying
and everybody has interest at heart.
There's a community us that where we're all working together, and let's get it.
Let's get it.
I think it's perfect. Oh, you're on mute.
Don't mute, no.
I'm sorry. I was saying, and this is literally a product of that. So I'm glad that you talked about that point. And yeah, well, now you can go ahead and wrap up. Tell everybody your links, how to support you all. And also, you know, if you got a little Cash App or whatever to Gerald's point, we got a Jared and a Jared. So I'm always.
So specifically for Gerald or anybody who's thinking like that, definitely. So we have a complimentary consultation. It's a 15-minute call, which is always lasts an hour, where you can always talk with us. Yep. So if you have any kind of question, anything that you want to talk about, definitely do that there. You can book at FreshTechSolutions.youcanbookme.com. I mean, not .com. FreshTechSolutions.youcanbook.me.
Yep.
And then I think I put the email also in the chat as well, info@decklaunch.com. That's a way to get through. Two other things I want to mention, the Fresh Tech Tips podcast, more discussions like this. So we have, how many episodes we have?
Every Monday we have
56.
We have 56 episodes so far. So it's everywhere, anywhere you can get your podcast is on there. So just look up Fresh Tech Tips. And then every Tuesday, partner with the Ion, we do the discussion with
first Tuesday.
How to pitch. First Tuesday of every month. My bad.
So
how to pitch. So those are the things we would want to talk about.
Yeah. So every first Tuesday we're pitching with the Ion. Our super tournament with pitch competitions is going to be every Wednesday. Every first Wednesday. So in April, first Tuesday, you're gonna be with us with the Ion. That Wednesday, you're gonna be with us with Deck Launch and Fresh Tech. We're over here making it happen. We want to make sure that y'all get everything that you need, and trust me. And if you say that you were here with us with FAMU House, $250 off is your first service with Deck Launch.
Wait, can you repeat that so people can hear and say what? $200
I'm gonna say it really slow. So $250 off your first major service with Fresh Tech and Deck Launch. Our consultations are a bit cheaper, but like everything else we do, and I get it. But like $250 off. Let's get it. We're talking about clickable prototypes. We're talking about pitch decks, and we're talking about your branding for your marketing. Those are the three things.
And you can also follow us on social media at Deck Launch and Fresh Tech Solutions, Facebook.com/Fresh Tech Solutions. Solutions has a Z on it because we're cool. And and for the culture. But yeah, so we're very open. Like Nick said earlier, the Fresh Tech Tips podcast is an extremely great resource for people on the entrepreneurship journey.
Like we are.
We broadcast live on Facebook at 12 o'clock every Monday.
Okay.
And that can be found by following the Fresh Tech Solutions page on Facebook.
Got it. I just so appreciate you guys' candor, and I love to see the interaction between you all because you seem very, very passionate. Like myself and Aisha were talking about just being passionate about what you do because it can get hard and you have to have that as a backup sometimes to kind of fuel your fire. Definitely. And I just love to see the interactions that you all have. Like I feel like I'm finna send y'all my deck just because I want to be.
We got you.
We love you. Definitely do that, no problem.
But it has been such a pleasure, and I just wish you all much prosperity. And I'm also extremely excited to have another set of PV folks. For our first time we did FAMU House, we had a PV alumnus from the MBA program panel. So this is kind of becoming a thing. So next year, I need to see a PV House.
Okay.
In South by Southwest. Y'all gonna make that happen, right?
We'll talk offline because we do have some things we're trying to work on with PV. So definitely we're gonna be talking to you.
Definitely.
Very soon.
Yes. And now that we're part of the SWAC, we may, come across y'all who don't stump you, obviously. It's still love. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely. Well, I'll let you all sign off and feel free to stay to see some more excellent alumnus. And next, we actually have a pre-recorded fireside chat from Melissa A. Mitchell. She's a fabulous designer. And then we also have, she's going to be talking to her friend, David Castro, who is also a FAMU alumni. He is an architect and a designer as well. So I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes. No, I'm sorry, a 3-minute break. Take a 3-minute break, get up, stand up, stretch, and all that stuff. And then we're going to play the fireside chat. Deck Launch. Thank you guys so much. Dr. Doug, we appreciate you. And on site, Austin, next year, 2022, FAMU.
On site.
Can't wait.
Do you understand what you just did?
What? PV House?
They're about to get us to another rabbit hole.
No.
We'll be talking forever.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you. All righty, folks. We'll come back in actually 2 minutes now. In 2 minutes, I will start the presentation for the Melissa A. Mitchell and David Cash show. See you soon.